Welcome to round 2 of the Banter Racing League on F1 2018. We are here for the Bahrain Grand Prix in the Sakhir International Circuit. And we are going to have a record 15 drivers on the grid for this Bahrain Grand Prix. I thought there was going to be 16 at first, but so there was actually 15. And here we go, in the grid for this race. Century put it on pole position for Mercedes by 7 hundredths from Agonza in second place. Agonza is only 7 thousandths faster than Combined in third place for Red Bull. Then it's Wattmaster in fourth ahead of Addy from McLaren, his best position. Jagger in sixth, then Ventrox, and then it's Boxy in eighth for McLaren, and then it's Wesley, and then Cryptox, then Fazal. Ping down in 12th, the championship leader, then Rantix for Toro Rosso, then Savage, and then it's the Boom in 15th. And here we are with Wattmaster on the formation lap right now. We're about to start the formation lap. And Ping is in 12th place because he didn't really get a good lap in. So, yeah, that's why he's in 12th place at the moment. And start the formation lap now. Century got an interesting start on the formation lap. And to confirm that there is 15 drivers on the grid for this race, you can see on the top left. And on board with Combined in the Red Bull. He starts in third once again. He started in third in his home race in Australia, and he starts third today in Bahrain. On board with Ping towards the back of the field. You can see him behind Fazal in front of Rantix in the Toro Rosso. So this is a very interesting... this is going to be a very interesting race as we line up on the grid for round 2 of this season. On board the Wattmaster, weaving the wheel, and Combined is also warming up his tyres before the start of the race. And here we go. It should be another great championship. Ping and Agonza. Once again, they were 1-2 last race in Australia. Can they be? Can they have good positions today? Here we go with Fazal. Can he finish a race as well? He didn't finish in Australia, of course. As now, here we go, getting ready for the lights for round 2 of the Banter Racing League on F1 2018. And it's away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and Century gets a really bad start. He's lost a lot of places, but Wattmaster's got a very good start, and he's alongside Agonza coming into turn 1, and Wesley's already out of the race. Agonza and Wattmaster wheel to wheel, and Wattmaster takes the lead of the race on lap 1. Started 4th and moves up into the lead of the race. Agonza's in 2nd. And Addy's in 3rd for McLaren. And then Boxy and Century wheel to wheel. And Century's going to take that 4th place away from Boxy. Century is up to 4th, Boxy 5th. Then Jagger in 6th. Combined down to 7th from 3rd on the grid. A very bad start for him. Addy's off the track and he's going to rejoin in front of Century. Only just. And Combined has got Jagger ahead of him. And Jagger's got some front wing damage on the left hand side. Boxy's going off. Both McLaren's going off. Addy's trying to... Century's trying to overtake Addy. As now it's going to be almost 3 wide, coming down towards turn 11, and Boxy goes to the inside of Century into turn 11, and doesn't quite get the move. And that was a that's a lot of madness on this first lap. And we have Fazal right behind Combined at the moment, and it's a battle for 3rd place between Century, Addy, Boxy, Jagger, Combined, and then Fazal behind Combined now. He has got another good start as Fazal from 11th on the grid and is now into 8th place. Is now ending lap 1 of this race. Wattmaster leads from Agonza, and then it's Century, then it's Addy, Boxy, then Jagger, then Combined, and then Fazal, then Ping, and then Rantix, but now Fazal has a slipstream and goes to the inside of Combined coming into turn 1. He has blocked up and overshot the corner completely. Boxy's off the track and now Combined is going to challenge him. They are side by side coming down towards turn 3, and there's a bit of contact with Fazal there, and Ping has got past Fazal into 8th place there. As now Combined on the inside of Boxy coming into turn 4, and he gets the move done, and there's contact and Ping has spun round. The championship leader has collided with Fazal, and there's front wing damage for sure on Fazal's car, and also for some other people as well. There's a lot of debris, but a dramatic incident. The championship leader has gone for a spin at turn 4. It's now at the end of lap 2 now. Combined is now going to challenge Addy for 5th place in the race. He's having a little look up the inside. coming into the final corner now. Whatmaster still leads the race. Agonza is in second still. And then we have Sentry in third. And then Jagger. And then Addy, who is now being slipstreamed by Combined. Coming down towards turn 1. He's going to go to the inside. Coming into turn 1. They're going to go side by side. Combined is the inside line, but Addy has the inside line into turn 2. As now, Combined is going to get some good traction. Coming down towards turn 4. He's going to go to the inside once again. Coming into turn 4. Addy tries to defend. But now Combined goes on the inside into turn 4 and takes 5th place from Addy in the McLaren. And the Red Bull driver gets up into 5th place. A good comeback from what was a really bad start. Here is the replay of the incident involving Ping. And actually it was Ping who tapped Fazal off the track at turn 3 and made him slide off. And you can see that Combined on the inside of Boxy. And Boxy was trying to give Combined space and actually cut Ping off. So it's actually Boxy who touched Ping, and that spun him round, and then Fazal touched into him, or he just had nowhere else to go, basically. That was very unlucky for Fazal there. He has front wing damage. And replays of the start. Here is Whatmaster's view of the start. It was a very good start from Whatmaster. You can see Sentry actually stalled his car at the start. And he lost, he went from 1st to 8th on lap 1 as he went wheel to wheel with the Agonza into turn 1. Took the lead away from him on the first corner. So it was a 4th to 1st for Whatmaster. Here we go, on board with Combined behind Sentry. And there you go, Sentry completely stopped at the line. And that meant Combined actually had to avoid him. And that's what made him lose places at the start. You can see Addy and Jagger coming alongside him. And Jagger actually gives him a little bit of a touch there, and the Ventrox been pushed off a bit. And you can see because of the yellow flags that Combined got an illegal overtake on Boxy in the McLaren. So that was because of the yellow flags from Wesley crashing out of the race. And on the next replay you'll be able to see it. But you can see Combined goes a bit wide there, and that's how we dropped down to 7th. So he went from 3rd to 7th because of Sentry's bad start, basically. And here we go, on board with Ping off the start, who started from 12th on the grid. And he got a pretty average start there. And Fazal got a decent start again. He put out to the inside of Wesley. And that is how Wesley crashed out. He crashed out even before turn 1. And he actually hit the back of Fazal's car again. Just like in Australia, they collided together. Fazal obviously turned into Wesley in Australia, but this time it was Wesley once again and Fazal. But this time it was actually Wesley out of this race after a small touch with the rear left tyre of Fazal's car and putting him out of the race. So I don't know if that's realistic or not, but here we go with Ping starting his comeback. He is right behind Cryptox in the Force India. Is he going to go to the inside? Coming into the final corner. Yes, he is. He's going to have a look up the inside. Cryptox is going to give him a lot of space. And Ping has got the move done coming into this corner. But now Ping is side by side with Cryptox, and he's going to get DRS to pull away from the Force India. And he is moved up into 8th place. As now, Cryptox is not going to fight him. And he's going to stay in that 9th place. And Fazal is now going to chase him down. As now coming on to the end of lap 4 for the guys in front of those two that were just battling. And we have Combined gaining on Vladimir Jagger coming down towards turn 1. Jagger defends the inside line, but Combined is going to brake very late and going to try and go round the outside coming into turn 1. But now they're going to go side by side coming down into turn 2. But Jagger holds on to the place. But now here comes Combined now coming to the outside once again, coming into turn 4. And now he's going to go for the switchback coming down into this corner. They're going to go side by side, but Jagger still holds on to the place. Very good defending from the Mercedes. And he keeps 4th place. This is the battle for 4th place between Vladimir Jagger and Combined, Mercedes and the Red Bull. So these two are obviously rivals in the past. They haven't been battling much because one of them has bad luck, at least in one race, and the other doesn't. So they haven't got near each other, but now they're finally on track, battling each other. As now, here we go with the slipstream, and Combined looks to the inside, coming into turn 11. Plenty of space is given, but he's not going to go for that move. Turn 11 is not really an overtaking place that much. As now we're coming to this corner, and now here we go with Whatmaster currently leading this race after that great start from 4th on the grid. And Wattmaster is going to pit this lap. And he's going to hand Agonza the lead of this race. And Wattmaster is going to change onto a set of soft tyres, I believe. He's going to go for a he's going to go for a 2-stop strategy. And yep, he's going to change onto the soft tyres. And it's a 2.689 second pit stop from Sauber to Wattmaster. It was a very good stop from them. And Addy is also pitting. And Fazl's going to come into 4th place. So Fazl's staying out because he started on the soft tyres. Which he actually didn't mean to, because he didn't think if he started 11th. He didn't realise he started 11th, so he could actually change his tyres. He changed his strategy anyway. Combining the pits, also for the soft tyres. Jagger also for the soft tyres as well. And a bit of a front wing change because of his damage before. Addy also has a front wing change. And he is also changing onto the soft tyres. And it was a 2.685 second stop from Red Bull to combine there. As now, here is it's going to be very close with Boxy on the exit for Combined. And Combined just gets ahead of Boxy in the McLaren. Both McLarens being very close to him. As obviously Combined passed Addy a few laps ago. And now Boxy is going to try and challenge him, coming down towards turn 4. And up the inside, Boxy has a little look, but doesn't quite get the move there. And stays in 7th place. Combined only just came out of the pits, of course. So Boxy and Combined can have a battle here. As now here is Wattmaster behind Fazrul, who hasn't pitted yet. And this should be an easy move for Wattmaster now. As he comes onto the straight now, coming down towards the final corner. He's going to put it into Rich Mix and he's going to go to the inside, coming down towards the final corner, and he's let him through. Fazrul has just let him through there. Wattmaster overshoots the corner. As now Fazrul is going to get some DRS. And to be honest, Fazrul should not fight Wattmaster, but he's going to do it anyway. He's going to get the slipstream and he's going to get the DRS. Coming to the outside of the Sauber, coming down towards turn 1, and they're going to go side by side. Wattmaster is the inside line. And yeah, Fazrul just lets him go because he is not fighting him at all. Wattmaster just pitted and Fazrul has not pitted yet for those tyres. He started on the softs, of course, and you can see Boxy and Combined are actually battling it out like hell there. And Combined holds on to P6 in that particular battle. As now, moving on to lap 11 of this race. Fazrul up into 3rd place now after everyone pitted for their scheduled pit stops. And Agonza is now challenging Fazrul now, coming into turn 11. What's going to happen here? Fazrul is just going to go wide to let Agonza through. So he's letting Agonza through for 3rd place. And there's a little bit of lag, there's a lot of lag there. But Sentry also goes around the outside. Sentry takes 4th place from Fazrul. As now there is Combined right behind Fazrul, coming into the final corner. What is the Red Bull driver going to do as you head into the final corner now? Coming onto the straight with DRS open. Combined has got DRS and Rich Mix. Fazrul's also got DRS on the Sentry ahead, but now he comes Combined to the outside and now switches to the inside. Coming down towards turn 1, is he going to go up the inside of Fazrul coming into turn 1? Yes, he does. Combined gets into P5 on the inside of that corner into turn 1. And he moves up into 5th place. Is Fazrul going to challenge him back? No, he isn't. Fazrul's not going to challenge him back into that corner. Now Combined is going to challenge Sentry next. He battled with Sentry, of course, in Australia. And he's going to try and catch him this time. And now this is lap 12 of the race. We're almost halfway through. And now here is Wattmaster once again on lap 13. Behind his teammate Ping Chuhai. Coming onto the straight. I think Ping will pit this lap for a set of super softs. Most likely. Coming into the final corner now. And yeah, Wattmaster's catching Ping. So yep, there goes Ping into the pit lane. And he's going to change onto a set of super soft tyres. He's also going for a 2-stop strategy. And there's the fastest lap for a Wattmaster, a 1:30.9. That's quite a decent time. And Ping is also going to come out behind some traffic consisting of Combined, Jagger, Fazrul. No, not Fazrul, he's also in the pits. And yep, Ping also did indeed change onto a set of super softs, but he's actually come up behind Agonza, Sentry, Combined, and Jagger. And obviously Combined and Jagger are battling right now, so that's going to be interesting to catch up to for Ping. So his comeback continues from 12th on the grid. A bad qualifying for the championship leader, and obviously the incident with Fazrul not helping as well. Is now on lap 12 of this race. Fazrul runs very wide, and that's going to let Boxy through on the inside, and Boxy gets into 6th place, past the Renault. Is now coming into turn 11, into 4th gear. He understeers once again. His tyres are gone. Fazrul's tyres are pretty much gone. As now, here we go, coming down to his turn 12. And Boxy has lost it, and he's gone into the wall there, has he? Yes, he has. He's gone into the wall, and is out of the race. Boxy has retired from the Bahrain Grand Prix, and Thaboom is out as well of this race. And Jagger goes on the inside of Fazrul. He has just been let through. But 2 guys out within just a few seconds there. Boxy completely lost the car at turn 12. Did not hit the curb, he just lost the rear of the car and crashed into the wall. And then Thaboom also probably lost the car and did the same thing. And Thaboom out of the race for the 2nd race in a row. Unfortunate for the Ferrari. This obviously is a mistake, but coming into the final corner, Jagger is challenging Combined now, coming down towards turn 1, and now DRS is available for Jagger. He's going to go to the inside, and that's an easy move for him. He's going to speed past him, but now on board with Combined now. Coming down towards turn 1, he's going to challenge him to the outside once again, but Jagger has the inside line and keeps 4th place. They continue to battle on lap 16 of this race. 13 laps remain here in Bahrain. As now, Combined has a little look into turn 4, but does not quite get the move there. Is now coming into this corner. Jagger's starting to pull away from the pack, as Ping is probably gaining on these 2 as well, as they're battling, and Ping is right behind them. Yeah, you can see 3 seconds behind. Ping is 3 seconds behind these 2. As now here comes Combined to the outside, coming down towards the final corner. But I see what Jagger just did there. He just tried to let Combined past him to break the DRS. And yes, now Jagger has DRS available onto the straight now. But Combined is still going to get the slipstream. And he's going to try and challenge him to the outside once again. Coming down towards turn 1, they're going to go side by side. Combined's braking late once again. He's going to go round the outside into turn 1 once again. He is attempting it. But now they're side by side, and Jagger holds on to 4th place still. And he completely cut him off with the tyre there. And into turn 4, he has held the place and held up to P4. Obviously they're both pitted on the same lap. And here on board with Fazrul, behind Cryptox on lap 16 of this race. They were further behind the pack. Obviously around this point, Combined and Jagger were battling on the straight. But now here is Fazrul getting a slipstream on the Force India of Cryptox, coming down towards turn 1. And it's a big slipstream as well. He's going to go up the inside, coming down towards turn 1. It's a late braking move, but here comes Fazrul up the inside and gets into 8th place on the inside of Cryptox. And the Force India has just didn't have the pace today and has lost a position to the Renault. As now on board the Wattmaster on lap 18 of this race. And he is currently in the lead still. It's Sauber is doing well at the moment with the leader. And he's going to come into the pits once again for his 2nd pit stop. This is going to be for either super softs or another set of softs. It's going to be one of them. But he's going to come out behind Agonza for sure. Yes, there he goes. Agonza has got out ahead of Wattmaster. And Wattmaster actually changes to a set of soft tyres there. And it's a 2.726 second stop. Slightly faster than the previous stop Sauber did. And he gets out behind the battle. Actually, he gets out behind Sentry and behind Ping as well, and Jagger. So he's come out in 5th place as Wattmaster, but he's come out ahead of Combined in P6. And Combined also pitted for his 2nd pit stop as well. He also changed onto a set of softs for that last stint. As now here we are on lap 18 of this race. on board with Ping. Coming into turn 11, he's behind Vladimir Jega in the Mercedes. And coming into turn 11, Jega just hits the curb there and loses a bit of time. Is now coming into turn 13. Ping is so much quicker than Jega through these corners, so he's going to pass him on the DRS straight for sure. And you can see he's got the notification that Whatmaster's in the pits, and Jega defends the inside line coming into the final corner, but Ping is going to get the DRS. He did not fall for the trick that Combined fell for, as now Ping is going to get DRS now. He's going to go to the inside, coming onto the straight, and he speeds past him onto the straight, and Ping gets into third place on the inside into turn 1, and he moves up into the podium places. Agonza is leading from Century, and then Ping into third place. Here we are on lap 20. Combined is in P6 at the moment. And Jega has pitted for Mercedes. He has changed onto the super soft tyres as well. And it's going to be close between him and Combined in the Red Bull. Here we go, they're going to go side by side out of the pit lane. Once again they're battling, as now coming around the outside into turn 1 once again. There's a bit of contact, and now coming into turn 2, and there's a time penalty for Combined there, but Jega holds on to the place and moves into P5. He holds on to P5 there. But Combined has got he's got a time penalty for corner cutting, because he obviously got given no room by Jega there, to be honest. There was a bit of contact, but there was just not enough room. Combined was scared at the time of that of those overtakes when he went around the outside. He just didn't know where Jega was on the inside, despite the proximity arrow showing him. Is now on board with Ping once again on lap 22 of this race, and he's going to pit for another set of super soft tyres. Is he not, or is he going to go for soft tyres? Here he goes, Ping into the pits for a second pit stop. He's going to let Whatmaster go through onto the podium. And here we go. And it's another set of super soft tyres. Ping has gone onto another set of super softs. Very interesting strategy from Ping here. This is a very interesting strategy, and he's going to come out probably behind Jega, but ahead of Combined. Yes, behind Jega again, so he'll be behind the Mercedes, but just ahead of the Red Bull of Combined there, who's on the soft tyres, so he won't catch him anyway. Lap 23 of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and the battle between Jega and Combined has ended, so they will have not that much action towards the end. Here we go, on lap 23, Ping is all over the back of Jega now, coming down towards the final corner. He's going to get DRS once again. He's going to be an exact replica of the straight a few laps ago. Now Jega tries to defend the inside, but now Ping goes to the inside, a very tight line coming down towards turn 1, and he's absolutely shot past him coming to turn 1, and Jega actually went on mode 2 on the ERS. That's why he got past him so easily, because Jega is also not fighting Ping as well. Jaga's not fighting Ping, so just let him go with the DRS there. As now, nothing happened on other POVs, so here we go, starting the final lap of this race. And Agonza is going to probably cruise home to this victory, take the lead of the championship as well, after Ping will finish in 4th place today. As now, but Whatmaster is gaining on the Mercedes of Century, coming down towards turn 1. They're going to have a nice battle on the last lap. Here we go. Century versus Whatmaster on into turn 4 now. Whatmaster slipstreams the Mercedes coming down towards turn 4. He's going to have a little look. He's going to have a little look up the inside, but doesn't go for the move at that place. As now coming into the fast right-hander, the fast chicane at turn 5 and turn 6 and turn 7. And now coming into the heavy braking zone at turn 8, they both lock up. Century makes a bit of a mistake there, but now coming down into turn 9 and 10, there's a yellow flag. As now here we go, coming into turn 10, up the inside comes Whatmaster. There's a bit of contact. But now they're going to go side by side. DRS available for Whatmaster. They're going to go side by side. Coming into turn 11. Is Whatmaster going to get the move on Century? Here he goes. Up the inside. And he's got the move done into 2nd place. Century has been Whatmaster just dive bombed Century there. And you can see the Toro Rosso of Savage was spun on the side of the track. And Agonza's lost time as well. Did Agonza actually crash into the side of Savage's spun car? Or maybe that's why Savage has spun round, because Agonza crashed into him. but it's not going to be enough. Agonza lost a lot of time, but despite that, Agonza is going to win in Bahrain for Haas. The Haas driver is going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix, and Wortmaster takes second place for Sauber, ahead of Century for Mercedes in third. A good battle for the lead on the last lap. Ping Too High from 12th on the grid comes home to finish in fourth. A good comeback for the German. A very good comeback there. And Jagger is going to finish in P5 for Mercedes. Combined is going to finish in P6 for Red Bull. It was an average result in the end for the Australian. And he is in P6. Addy is going to finish in P7 for McLaren. The Indonesian is going to pick up 6 points today. And you can see the Toro Rosso crashing into the wall again. And Addy crosses the line for 6 points and 7th place. And now into the final corner. Fazal is weaving his car as he finishes his first race of the season and takes 8th place in Bahrain. So Fazal is going to finish in 8th place. And Rantix will finish in the points. 2 points for the Toro Rosso. And Cryptox will finish in 10th place. He made a mistake on the last lap after he was trying to catch Fazrul for 8th place. And we can see a replay of that right now. Cryptox made a mistake, and that's what made him lose the position to Rantix. Here he goes. He actually hits the curb at turn 7 and loses control of his car and goes for a spin out of that corner. So that was the end of Cryptox's race, basically. And you can see Rantix going around the outside of him into turn 8. And Cryptox gave him plenty of space. But Rantix actually did not go for the move until turn 10. He went up the inside. That was a daring move from Rantix, and he actually got the move done there into turn 10. That was similar to Wattmaster's move on Century, but without contact. Anyway, it is Agonza who wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, and he will take the lead of the championship after this race. Because Ping finished in 4th, and it's a 13-point difference in points. Agonza gained 13 points on Ping after he started. He had to finish 4th, and Agonza finished 1st. But Wortmaster, Ping's teammate Wortmaster finishes 2nd, and Century 3rd. So here are the results of an eventful, very eventful Bahrain Grand Prix. Agonza wins the race by 4/10 from Wortmaster in 2nd place, then it's Century in 3rd for Mercedes, and then it's Ping Too High in 4th for Sauber, 13 seconds back, then Jagger in 5th, winning a battle with Combined, who finished in P6, Addy in 7th for McLaren, then Fazal in 8th, then Rantix 9th, Cryptox 10th, Savage in 11th, and the DNFs were Boxy, Thaboom, Ventrox, and Wesley. Unfortunate for those guys. It was a very eventful Bahrain Grand Prix. The next race will be the Chinese Grand Prix in the Shanghai International Circuit, so see you then.